Hey guys, Bard here. I've been asked many times by friends and people in the space what I do to 3D print because I 3D print an awful lot. So check it out. Full disclosure, I am not a professional 3D printer. I have one small machine. It's my first machine. My experience is limited, but I have been doing it for almost 2 years now. So I think I know pretty well what I'm working on here. Obviously, before the what you're about to see in this video, the steps before it is always check what your manufacturer settings are. Check what the settings on your printer should be based on the resin you are using. Always make sure the temperature is good in the room you're doing it in, and make sure that the machine is level. That's the most important things to dial in your settings. Every printer is a little bit different. Every type of resin you use is a little bit different. This is why I found like one resin that I really enjoy and I stick with it and I never change it to avoid any problems in the future. So take a look and remember what I just said. All right. So grab a D20, pull up a chair. The Bard is at work.
Body work.
Step of your 3D printing is you got to find your files or make them. You can find them for free on Thingiverse or Cults 3D. I personally like to use Loot Studios, which is a membership thing. It's not free, but every month you get new downloads, and they come pre-supported, which will make your life much easier, or you can learn to do it yourself. Once you've downloaded your files, pre-supported or not, you'll find them, you'll pick them, and it'll open up in your preferred software. I use Box, but you can also use Lychee. So right here, I'm just opening up I'm opening up the base and also the file for the miniature, and I'm going to fit them onto my build plate. So this rectangle you see here in Box is the build plate for your machine. You'll have predetermined the settings because you can choose what machine you have when you're using these types of softwares, and it'll predetermine your build plate how it's supposed to be. If you're totally new to 3D printing, the build plate for resin printing is that metal plate that's upside down and it goes up and down into the liquid, and you stick things to it. So you can see I'm positioning my things here on that platform. You can rotate them, you can scale them, make sure they fit. Ideally, you want to make sure there's no red on the edges. You can see here I'm positioning them, checking the red to make sure that it's totally on there. Then I do always a circle around to see that there's no red sticking out. And it looks like we're good. Oh, there I made a mistake, so we'll just Control Z to bring that back. Okay. Those are supports, those kind of like tree-like things you see. That red there sticking out, that is not a big deal, but I'll move it in a little bit. Slice it, yes. It takes a little bit to load. Once it slices, you can double check it. Make sure everything's good. And then you save it to your desired location. For me, I save it right to my USB, which I will put into my 3D printer. Some of the newer ones, you connect to your Wi-Fi network or directly from your computer. Mine's not that advanced. I just have an Elegoo Mars 2, pretty early generation. Fantastic printer, but I still have to save it onto a USB each time. Once it's saved, you're good to go. Then I'll start a new one, and here I have another file that I prepared on here. So like I said, the red that you see sticking out a little bit is not a big deal. That is like the sticky platform to the thing. That's not actually part of the miniature. If there's a little bit off, that's not going to ruin your print. All it will is just not print whatever's in the red. Where that can ruin a print is if it supports or like a main thing holding your miniature together. If it doesn't print, you could get screwed, right? for that base platform or even like one singular support, it won't be a big deal. Just make sure your actual model, the entire model, top, bottom, and all the sides are blue and not red inside your build plate. Save that one. This is usually my usual workflow, and then I'll open up my next ones. Don't know what we got next here. What do we got? Choose my files. Okay, so a base. See, so I'm going to rotate it to make sure it fits. And then you can see I still have space on the base. Why waste printing, right? You want to fill up, ideally you want to fill up your build plate as much as you can each time for maximum output. So I'm going to add a different miniature onto here and squeeze it in there. Again, it's okay if like the bottom layers, that layer that's stuck to to your build plate, it's okay if they cross over from the other ones. You just want to make sure that the supports and the actual models aren't crossing over each other. Once it's saved onto the USB, I walk over to the printer, put my USB in the printer, click print. You'll see all your files pop up. You choose the one you want to print, and then you press the play button, which is the print button. And that's it. And then it goes layer by layer. The build plate will go down. It'll drop into the vat of resin and go up and down for the amount of time that it needs. 2 to 7 hours, I would say, depending on the size of the print. When it's done, take the lid off. I'll unscrew the top, remove the prints. I'll clean them in my 90% isopropyl or water if you have water washable resin. Put it in there. I set my timer. And let it do its thing. While it's doing its thing, I will refill my vat up to the max line. Some people say it's better not to do this and to let it, get to the end so you're using fresh all the time. But easy peasy. When that's done in the wash and cure station, I take it off. I will remove them out of the... After putting on my rotational plate back on, I will remove them from the isopropyl vat. Which is almost like a fry basket if you've ever done deep fry, and you take them out. Now I'm going to dry them. You can either hand dry them, use a hair dryer, or just air dry, as long as you can. Once they're dry, I will put them into the cure and wash station, and I will let them cure under the UV light for, depending on the size, I would say 4 to 6 minutes. Obviously, the wash and cure station is just something that makes it much easier for me, but it's not a necessity. You can wash with water and isopropyl. You can let it cure in the sun. There's lots of things you can do. Turbo trick number 1, I have a water kettle to clean my build plate. So to clean your build plate, I always pour hot water, boiling hot water on this. You let it sit for a moment, and then you'll be able to peel off your resin like butter. This will save you your build plate instead of ruining your build plate, okay? Instead of having to scrape it off, it should come off just like butter. Now here I took it out a little bit too early, so you'll see you actually struggle. This is what most people get. It doesn't come off nicely. If you let it sit in the hot water long enough, it'll come off just like butter here. I believe here you'll see. See, it comes right off. That's how you want it. That's why the hot water will save your build print, and it makes it much, much quicker. Dry off your build plate. Make sure it's nice and clean. And then I open up my 3D printer again, and I'm going to screw it back on, which is literally just a slide on and one singular knob. Like that. Done. Close it back up. Start my next print. For cleaning, I always have clippers and a knife. And I use Gorilla Glue myself. You use whatever you want. You can see there you have leftover little pieces, like little from the supports. These you can file off with your knife, with sandpaper, with your cutters. So then I prime them. Generally speaking, I'll prime them with spray paint. Yeah, he's glued on there. So yeah, this is what I use. I use Rust-Oleum. Honestly, do not use like Citadel spray paint and spend $1 million. Go to your hardware store and get Rust-Oleum or Krylon acrylic paint. Make sure you shake it up for probably about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Shake it, spin it upside down, shake it hard, vigorously, as much as you can. And then when you're ready to go, now you'll notice I'm not holding it, okay? See, I'm doing this side to side spray. You're not holding it. You start spraying off of it and then go across it. This makes sure there's never too much on your miniatures. Yeah, so you don't get blobby and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like the paint's leaking. I'm never too close, never too far. If you're too close, it'll look blobby and it won't look even. If you're too far, it'll take forever to coat and just won't coat properly, but a waste of paint. Don't forget, always use proper PPE. When it comes to spray paint, you should think about things like a mask. When it comes to the 3D printing, you should think about gloves, a mask, and maybe even goggles, because you don't want to get isopropyl or resin in your eyes. It would not be pleasant. Obviously, well-ventilated area, whether inside or outside. And that's basically it. Once I get it primed up and it dries, I take it back to my paint desk and I'll dry brush them with the white and the gray, and they look like this on my cabinet. They look pretty sweet. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask in the comments.